Hi everybody, hope you're all well. This is in response to Mr Kiwiking. Thanks for your comments. You said, would it work in your Ninja without the bottom element? And you know what, I thought, rather than just sort of maybe give you a sort of say, might should do, I thought, let's try. And even better, because we've got two drawers, one of my drawers is lying directly, so we're going to try it's directly in the basket like I did with the Cosori TurboBlaze, and the other basket I've got a tin, so it's got its crisper tray in, and I've lined a tin that fits the second drawer. So that's brilliant. When Jim heard that because he heard me talking about it, and he came in and said, "Oh, are you making those fruit slices again?" And I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Great." So that, that's amazing. That's such a great response to the first lot. So would be interested to see how they turn out. It's going to be exactly the same recipe, although someone in the comments said, "Oh, with the dredging of the caster sugar on top, she was going to add cinnamon," which I thought was a really nice touch. I might do that as well, actually, although I'm kind of keen for it to be exactly the same recipe. So I'm torn. I'll see how it goes. If I did this again after this particular recipe, I think I would Christmas it up a bit more, because I was tempted to put either nutmeg or cinnamon. What would you do to the main base? So you've got your base, and then the topping. Would you add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon or nutmeg or mixed spice? What would you do? Let me know in the comments. So let's crack on and see how this is going to pan out. What I would like to also add is that I've got a really exciting giveaway coming up to subscribers only. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And also I do have a membership thing. That's only if you're into that kind of thing. I used to have Patreon, which is exactly the same thing, but I've kind of got rid of that because I can everything's in the same umbrella. And it's cheaper as well than Patreon was. That's just something to add. Yeah. So only if you subscribe can you be part of this giveaway. It's going to be really good. It's going to be 2 air fryers as well. I'm going to say no more than that. And also they're going to be Cosori. So I'm very excited, and I'm really rate Cosori. I think personally, for me, they're as good as Ninja. And they're priced better as well, because you get a good wide broad range of types. I don't really have much experience with other air fryers, but if any manufacturers out there fancy sending me some to try that aren't a Cosori or a Ninja, please feel free. I have tried the Authentic, but yeah. Getting back to this, let's get back to this. Come and look at the recipe. You've seen it before, and if you haven't seen it before, I'll put a link at the end of the vlog and in the description to the Cosori TurboBlaze exact same recipe, but that has a bottom element, so there is a difference. This is why we're testing out it on the Ninja. Come and have a look at the ingredients. Okay, so this is the base, and this is what we're going to start with first. The only difference is I'm actually going to be using butter instead of the margarine, which I used in the last one. Then we have our soaked fruit. I used tea, and I've got large eggs today on this one. I had 3 small eggs last time and they worked fine. So 2 large or 3 small. Flour, sugar. The ingredients list would have already floated up. Also the lined tin, which is going to go in drawer 2, and I've lined the actual basket for that, and we're going to be putting the base in once it's ready. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say this. This is a chopping board that kind of breaks, when they've been in the water too long over a period of time. So often the dishwashers do this, where they slowly, if you put them in your dishwasher, they're really handy. When they do break like that, they make excellent surface protectors. So I always keep hold of them. I've got a few knocking around, and they sort of stay up there. So yeah, anyway, let's crack on and start this part of the recipe. Okay, I'm going to add the flour. This is the base. I want to say thanks to Dilsey, who recommended a pastry blender. which ironically I haven't had time to order. Sorry, I need to get this out. It's stuck in the bowl. Before this particular recipe, but I'm definitely going to order one. And you said it's always handy to have mixed dried fruit in your pantry or cupboard because, you know, we do always, well, it's just so handy. Well, yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to warble. Light brown sugar straight in. I did sort of, yeah, I'm just, because I've got to use my hands, which I have just washed. But a pastry blender would really work. I'm definitely going to order one for the next time I might need to do this. Yeah, so I'm just going to mix with my hands, rub together until fully combined. I did chill the butter as well, but if you're using marge, chill that too. It worked just as well with the marge because I that's what I used on the last Cosori TurboBlaze recipe. Same ingredients, excuse me, a frog in my throat. But obviously this is butter in this case. Cool. I tell you what, work out for your fingers. Pastry blender is a must if that's going to make that a lot quicker and easier. Right, I'm going to clean my hands, and then we're going to kind of basically put this on the bottom of our basket and our tin. See you in a bit. Okay, I've just got boiling hot water for the spoon because this helps a lot with laying it flat, spreading it out and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because we're going to divide this between two, whatchamacallits. Hopefully that's enough for the basket. We'll soon find out. Just got to squish it down. Oh no. Maybe it's too hot. Oh Lord. Weirdly, it's not. All right, let's just try my fingers first. It works with the spoon with the other one with the marge. Maybe I have to flatten it first a little bit. Maybe it's too hot. Oh, maybe it should just be wet. Right, that's cold water. So, oh dear. Come on. It's strange. Why won't it do what it did the other day? God. This is weird. What's going on? Anyone have a clue? Please let me know. I mean, oh, it wasn't that hard with the Cosori base. Well, it was marge, interestingly. And this is butter, so that's the only difference. Gosh. Okay, come on, come on. All right, okay, we're getting there, finding a technique. Looks like it's, don't do too many, but yeah. Dab, dab, dip. Dab, dab, dip. Dab, dab, dip. Dab, dab, dip. Okay, right. Let's crack on, get this base done. Right, now the basket. Dab, dab, dip. Oh, wow. Well, the middle of doing a basket like that gets quite tricky when you have a spoon with a long handle, i.e. a dessert spoon. So I had to switch to do, well, I improvised at first trying to use, you know, those little pots that we kind of put pies in, and that just didn't work at all. So I just went to a teaspoon, and that helped a lot. So this is why a pastry blender is really good, because you can see where I couldn't quite blend fully because my fingers were tiring out. I mean, the workout, I tell you. What to note, the recipe I did in the Cosori was 140 grams for the butter, the sugar, and the, what was the other thing, butter, sugar and flour, self-raising. With this one I reduced it down to 110 grams for all three, for the base part, and it worked quite well. And it works well with cold water, not hot, which is what, I don't know why. Well, I mean, it was sticking, it wasn't working. So let's get these in the Ninja at 160 centigrade Celsius, 320 Fahrenheit. 10 minutes is what I did in the Cosori dual blaze. We'll do exactly the same amount of time, see what happens. I'm slightly worried, maybe I should do 8. I'm going to do 8. And if I need to add minutes, hey ho. That's in directly. Let's get this in. Crisper plate is in. Bung that in. We're going to have 2 types. This is very good. I'm quite excited about this. Put the board down. Match. Bake. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. If we need to add, we can. Because I think the Ninja is quite a little bit more ferocious than, and also the dual blaze is a bigger basket, so there's all of this going on. So smaller baskets maybe a little bit more intense. What do you think? Either way, let's go. Right, while that's happening, this is why I quite like this recipe. That's probably the hardest part. The next bit is so easy, it's unreal. Bung it all in a bowl, mix it, and then wait. What I need to do is beat the eggs. That's the only thing I need to do. Right, let's crack on. So the noise in the background is obviously the Ninja doing its thing. Let's get the fruit in. Tea soaked fruit. Personally, I soak mine in Earl Grey tea because that's my favourite tea. Someone asked, is lemon juice, would lemon juice work, or even brandy? I'd say brandy, definitely. That would make it very Christmassy. Sorry, I can't remember who asked that, so it was a great question. So we're just bunging everything in. Almonds, self-raising flour, sugar, fruit, and then lastly the beaten eggs, and then we mix. And if you wanted to add cinnamon, like I said before, would you add it? Would you add it to this? I mean, I would make this again because the boys really love this, and I think I would definitely make some for Christmas. Be interesting to see if it freezes. Actually, I might freeze some and we'll find out. We'll make some for Christmas. Then I don't actually have to make it at Christmas. Lovely. So easy. The base is the one that it requires a bit more work, but if you had a pastry blender, that would actually be easy too. Just the flattening of it, and even that's not terrible. I love this recipe, got to be honest. Right, that's done. I'll be back when that's done. See you then. Okay, I was washing up, so let's have a look. Woohoo! I mean, this is what happens with the paper. It comes away because I obviously buttered the sides. I'm gonna do what, I don't know. Not bubbling. I might add 2 minutes. Let's have a look at the. Oh, that looks more done. Actually, oops. Whoopsie. It needs to harden. I mean, that's the thing. Let's get this one out. Oh. Yeah, that's sizzling more. That looks more done. So I'm actually going to add, what was it, bake. Just add 2 minutes. 2. Add 2. That looks fine. These, I have to let these completely cool down anyway. So the next time you see me, they will be cooled down rather. Because because, yeah, interesting though. So if you're doing it in a tin, it needs 8 minutes is fine. But if you're doing it in the basket directly, because we don't know yet if that's even going to work, but it's looking okay. I've got to be honest. The paper thing, that happened on the Cosori TurboBlaze. It's just because obviously the butter melts, which is what's sticking the paper. But I do need the paper there to lift it out. So when I put the filling in, the topping, I'll put it in the very middle and then spread it out so it sort of flattens the paper back. But I do need the paper to be in there, so that's just one of those can't be helped things. So let's see you when it's all cooled down. I'm pretty sure 2 minutes is going to be fine. See you then. Okay, right. Excuse me. Little trick, because you know all the paper had kind of folded in on itself because it's been sort of cooked the first time. I've just reapplied butter, or marge rather, cheap marge, to the sides to sort of stick it back, and on the tin as well. So that will just help with pouring the topping on, which is what we're going to do now. So I did let these cool down completely, so they're cold to touch. And then we're going to divide this mixture between these two containers. Yeah, I want to make sure I've got enough for both, to be fair. I scrape everything out. I might take a little bit from here. Right, now dredging. I actually realised I had, let me just get this out of the way. I had some cinnamon sugar left over from when I did the donuts in the air fryer, which were, I've got to say, really good. Cinnamon sugar I had left over, and I realised I had all along a really good, I don't know what you call it, it's a tea strainer, but this is so good for sprinkling. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. I mean, look at that. So cinnamon sugar on the top. It's difficult to get the edges, actually. Let's just try and angle it. Oops, a bit heavy-handed. That's a bit more even, so I like that. Right, let's get this in. Okay, now for the Cosori TurboBlaze, I did it for 20 minutes, same temperature, 360, 320 Fahrenheit. But for this one, I think I'm going to do 15 minutes. And we may need to add minutes, which is fine. But it was 20 minutes on the last one. For the obvious reasons. We don't want to burn it. See you in a bit. I don't believe it. I forgot to press match. Oh, what an idiot. Right. So, draw 2, bake 15 minutes. So, the basket one's going to be ready first. Oh, blooming hell. I bet you all shouted at the telly. See you in a bit. Okay, the drawer one's finished. Ooh. Let's just have a look. Nice, thick, how do say skin. Excuse me. If it doesn't hit, if it's slowing down, so I think I'm going to add 5 minutes. This is all good because we're knowing what we need to do. As soon as that goes to cool, I'm going to add 5 minutes. And I think I might, well, we'll check that because that's going to be different. Right, I'm waiting. Right, there we go. Let's add 5, bake. 5 minutes. Then so that draws added 5, that's still 15. And we'll see how that is when that finishes. See you in a minute. Okay, that's about to win. So before it goes to the cool function, let's test it. Ooh, looking good. Right, hold up, hold up. Right, definitely adding minutes. Oh. There we go. Let's see what this one like. Well, this one, yeah, this is going to end in a minute, and hopefully it will hit 98. See you in a minute. Right, draw one, direct in the basket. It's finished. Oops, leave my hands free. Let's see what temperature this is at. Wow, I wasn't expecting this, but you know, it's fine. If it's 25 minutes, it's 25 minutes. But it's got to hit 98, so let's just do that now. Bake. Hold on, 20, oh, 5 minutes, what am I saying? Holy dear, holy God. Oh. Right, 5 minutes added. Okay, draw 2, let's have a look. Just so you know, I clean my probe in between each use. Is it going to hit temperature? It is slightly higher than the draw 1 in terms of, well, just positioning within the basket. But I think I'm going to need to add minutes because it's slowing down, you can tell. Right, 5 more minutes. As soon as that's gone, I'll be adding 5. So 25 minutes, this seems to me to be working out, which is fine. This is where the trial and error comes in, or at least finessing times, because they do vary depending on your air fryer, which is absolutely fine. There we go. Now we can add the minutes. Bake 5 minutes. Right, there we go. I mean, interestingly, maybe up the temperature, maybe, yeah, 170 to be safe, because you don't want to burn the top. That might work to sort of shorten it to 20 minutes, say. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm just interrupting it before it hits 0. In case I have to add more minutes, I'm definitely thinking 170. If it doesn't hit 98 now, I'm gonna definitely recommend putting the temperature at 170. It's going up fast though, so we're going to get there. We've just got to get to 98 and it's slowing down. Help! Yeah, oh. Right, I'll clean my probe in a bit. I am actually going to change it, so let's just go to that quick. We've got to be quick. 3 minutes. Oops. Yeah. It's interesting. I actually thought 160 would be fine with this, but I think it's 170, 20 to 25 minutes, always check. Having a probe really helps. If you don't have a probe, get one, because they really rule out that whole putting a little stick in it, or what do you call it? What do you call them? Oh man, the name escapes me. You know, the little sticks. What do you call them? You're shouting at the telly, I know it. It's like the teeth thingies. Oh, but they're not. Right, I'm going to go and get them because I need to look at it. I'll be back. Oh my God. cocktail sticks, you know, when you put them in to see if they come out clean, etc. I mean, that works, but I really like, I use this all the time, temperature checking my meat, etc. I'm just filling in time because I'm waiting for these darn fruit slices to cook. We are about to end on drawer 2. So let me just interrupt to stop it in case I have to add minutes. I'm going to quickly clean my probe because I've been chatting. See you in a minute. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, oopsie, the basket. Let's do it fresh. Right, the middle is definitely not hitting 98. So I am going to do the same thing I did the other 170. 3 minutes because I don't want to burn it. Ooh. I don't want to burn it, but yeah, all this faff, you would cut this out if you started the temperature at 170, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. I don't actually know to the top of my head. 340, but I'll put it here if I'm wrong. Yeah, right, see you in a bit. Right, it's gone over the 98. I actually had to up the temperature. I got fed up waiting. However, what I would say is possibly maybe even 180 for 15 to 20 to 25 minutes, obviously checking, because yeah, it worked for the 160, but you know, hey ho. So that's drawer 2. I'm going to actually leave that to, let's get it out, in fact. Yeah, I need something to put it on. I'll be back. So let's get this out. And we're going to leave it to cool in its tin before we kind of get it out of the tin. So I'll just leave it there. I'll just show you. I don't know if I can do that. How do I do this? Temperature. See, it was 180. I ended up putting it on 180. But that was for the last minute. So 170 to 180, 20 to 25 minutes. It cooked. It's in a top only, element only. If you have an air fryer, that's what's the word? I think it's stopped on this one. You know, doesn't have a bottom element. I don't know. Apart from Cosori, I don't know any other air fryers that have a bottom element as well. If you do happen to know one, let me know. Hold on, it's upside down. So the interesting thing is obviously the difference in the tin, that's higher up, it's in a tin, a metal tin. This is direct to the basket, which means it still can be done, but you need to add, you definitely need to, I think 180. I'm going to add more minutes. It can be cooked direct in the basket, but obviously we've got to taste test and kind of let it cool down and see what it's like. So I am actually going to, whoops, all right. Turn it back on. Drawer 1. Sorry, let's have a look. Bake. Just 180. Let's get this finished. It's driving me mad. 5 minutes, 180. If that doesn't do it, I'm gonna scream. See you in a bit. What's the range? Actually, this is a good point because I say 98 centigrade Celsius. I never know which one. What is the difference? Right. So the general advice is it should be around 98 Celsius centigrade, whatever the difference is. Whatever that is in 210 Fahrenheit. So it's 95 it hit, and that'll do me. It's also quite darker, so it's ready. So we're going to leave it to cool in the basket. And I'll be back when I've kind of taken it out once it's completely cooled because it's still very hot. So yeah. So the thing is, can you do it directly in the basket? At the moment, I think you can. Obviously, we've got a taste test, cut it, get it all that kind of stuff ready. I've already taken out the tin. I do actually have to score it, make the slices. I did forget to do that, but I'll do that in a minute. It's not a problem. I might wait till it's cold. I don't know. Yeah. So let's leave that to cool. I'll see you when I've got it out and it's completely cold. See you in a bit. Well, that was a bit of a marathon getting these to temperature, partly because I didn't really know what temperature I should start it at, and I had started the Cosori one at 160. So I think 170 or 180 to start works, but check it after 15-20 minutes. Check I just want to show you the bottom of the tinned one. It looks all right. It does look all right. It's a bit soft in the very middle, so you know, maybe to add a few more minutes. So it looks all right. I'm going to cut that in a minute. I just wanted to also check, what do you call it? The direct in the basket one is still a bit warm. And it does, because you know, it's butter, the base is oh. Do you know what? I'm going to let that cool down even further. That nearly collapsed. It's just impatience. Let's cut the tin one. And that was let's have a look at that first. I'll be back. Okay, I'm just going to move it onto the chopping board. I'm just going to whoops. And just once down the middle. Oh yeah, lovely. Right, let's get these loaded on a plate. Can you see the base? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm actually quite pleased. I'm looking forward to tasting it. I've got to be honest. You know, you would really, wouldn't you? Really looking forward to testing this. So let's do that now. Whoops. Right. The one in the tin. Taste test time. The Ninja fruit slice. Juicy. Oh. That's lovely. I'm not sure if I can taste the cinnamon sugar. I think I can. I think I'm getting a hint of the cinnamon sugar on top, but the base is crunchy. It's more crunchy on the edges, I must admit. Softer in the middle, but there's still that nice chewy contrast. I mean, it's really on the edges. It really gets that kind of lovely chewiness. That's delicious. I'm really pleased with that. I do want to introduce I wanted to show you the underside of it. So this is baked directly in the basket. I would recommend doing it in a tin that fits your air fryer, because this should be hard. I mean, it's potentially, you know what, I'm just thinking. I'm gonna put it in upside down. Hold on. I've still got the paper. Let's do this. It's handling it's a bit awkward. I don't want to break it, but I can lift it. Stick it back in the paper. Lower it in and cook that. That is a mission. I mean, I 100% you wouldn't need to do this if you had a tin. Ooh. So it's it back in there. Let's just. I've got my hands. Bake high. Maybe 190. I'm just gonna go high. I'm winging it now. 10 minutes. Right. I'll be back when that's done, and we'll just see what the bottom looks like. It just shows that you can cook it in the basket directly, but possibly doing it in a tin. I could have done 2 tins, you see, with this. See you in a bit. Right, that's about to win because I flipped it. You've just watched. I don't know why I'm even repeating myself. I have to say that's what's left. The troops, they absolutely loved it. Jim had good comments. He said he thought it tasted much nicer than the Cosori one. It's juicy, and the only change is the cinnamon sugar on top. But he did say it's not as the base isn't as good as the Cosori one. So I mean, I would personally recommend extending the time when cooking the base first time round, etc., to get it a bit more cooked. Everything will be in the recipe, all the notes, all the sort of findings. Let's have a look at that. I'm glad I did this. So I'm going to let that cool. We're going to taste test that. I mean, you know, it's got to be done. That is absolutely delicious. I'm really glad I've made it again, and I'm really glad I can show you how it's cooked in the Ninja or any air fryer that just has a top element. Yeah, delicious. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm really happy with the base. So yeah, I'm going to flip it and let it carry on cooling down before we taste test. See you in a minute. Right, let's get this cut. Whew, at last, we've come to the directly in the Ninja basket fruit slice. Yeah. And I think it's got an improved bottom. So let's just go in for a second taste test. That's lovely. It tastes exactly the same as the first one. I love the base. I mean, that's kind of a really lovely touch. I'll just see if it's chewy. It needs to completely cool down. It's still a bit warm. It's that soft topping with loads of flavour. That's packed with flavour. The cinnamon sugar on top is a really nice touch. I really like that suggestion. Nice chewy base. You do have to turn this upside down though if you want the base to be properly cooked, because it was still soft. We saw all that. It can be done in the basket directly. It just needs a lot more time. All the details will be in the recipe. I'll put all the details in the recipe anyway. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to put the kettle on. Absolutely lovely. Really like this recipe. So much so I made it again. But thanks for asking if it will work in the Ninja. It's a good question. This proves though that if you have an air fryer that has a dual basket or a top element, there's just slight adjustments. You might have to flip things, you know, you might have to add times, you might have to up the temperature a bit, but you can sort of play around. Always check, and then it's, you know, you'll come out with a winner. It's funny actually, because I was listening to Radio 2 driving along, coming home from work, and Scott Mills was saying how no one ever bakes a cake in an air fryer. I think, well, we all know that that's not true. Right, I want to say massive thank you for watching, and if you're keep an eye out for this really good giveaway that's coming up. It only open to subscribers. More info coming soon. See you then. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye.